everyone. Welcome back to Routine English Podcast.
We're so glad you could join us today. We have a great show lined up.
Have you ever stopped to truly calculate the statistical improbability of meeting a new friend, an actual deep friend, when you're past the age of 25?
Honestly, no. That sounds intensely cynical, Sophia. We're constantly meeting people.
We are constantly meeting acquaintances. I'm talking about that rare spark, the shift from I know this person to I can rely on this person when my life explodes. That's the statistical anomaly.
I get the distinction, but I think the difficulty isn't statistical, it's sociological. We run out of what sociologists call the big three triggers for friendship formation.
The big three?
Proximity, repeated unplanned interaction, and a setting that encourages vulnerability. Think college dorms or military service. You lose those structures as an adult.
That's why meeting a new friend outside of those structures feels like such a huge win. It's an intentional act, not just an accidental proximity bonus.
And that intentionality comes with a huge cognitive load. We are vetting them against a much higher standard because our time is now a scarce resource.
The transactional approach to human connection. Classic Alex.
It's realism. A new friend requires maintenance, emotional labor, and rescheduling. We subconsciously run a cost-benefit analysis. Does the joy they bring outweigh the necessary administrative overhead?
When you put it like that, it sounds horrific, like optimizing a supply chain.
But isn't that why dating apps exist for romance, but not really for friendship? Friendship formation is less market-driven, more reliant on organic, sometimes frustrating friction.
Wait, let's back up. What about the immediate, undeniable click? That shared sense of humor, the instant understanding? Surely that bypasses the administrative overhead?
That's surface-level homophily, the tendency to bond with people similar to ourselves. It feels good, but it's often temporary. Shared interests don't sustain a bond. Shared values do.
Give me an example. I met a friend recently entirely over a mutual love of obscure 80s synth pop.
Okay, that's the shared interest. But if they believe that taxes are theft, and you believe social services are vital, how long does that friendship last when the synth pop is off?
That's a cynical jump. We keep politics out of it.
But values seep into everything. How you treat a waiter, how you react to personal crisis, what constitutes loyalty. A true friendship isn't about surface agreement. It's about alignment on the moral framework.
I see the point. So the moment of meeting a new friend isn't the big event. It's the initial entry point into a long, quiet vetting process.
Precisely. And that vetting process is harder as an adult because we have established guardrails. Our emotional walls are much thicker than they were in high school.
We're less resilient to disappointment. If a new friend fails the test, the emotional fallout feels disproportionate.
And the older you get, the fewer slots you have left in your inner circle. Dunbar's number isn't just a fun fact. It's a cognitive reality. We can only actively maintain about 150 stable relationships, with maybe 5 or 6 being truly close.
The competition for those 5 slots is intense.
Exactly. You need someone compelling enough to displace one of the existing 5. That's why meeting new friends often stalls out in the casual acquaintance tier.
I think the key is finding someone who matches your current life pace too. You need someone who is willing to be vulnerable at the same speed you are.
Vulnerability synchronization. I like that term. It addresses the emotional timing.
Right. If I spill my deepest anxiety on the second meeting and they respond with a polite nod about the weather, we've desynchronized. The chance is lost.
Or worse, if you spill your anxiety and they immediately try to fix it instead of just listening. Different communication styles can kill potential bonds quickly, even if the underlying values align.
It's like trying to launch a complex satellite. Everything has to align perfectly. The shared history, the emotional availability, the shared humor, the values, and the timing.
And the geography. Let's not forget the tyranny of distance.
Okay, Alex, you're making it sound utterly hopeless. How does anyone make a new friend after they move houses, change jobs, or hit 35?
They dedicate time, and this is where the research gets truly fascinating.
Oh, here comes the twist.
Yes, while we talk about the quality of the interactions, researchers have actually quantified the quantity needed. The barrier to entry is measurable in hours.
Hours? You can't be serious.
Very serious. A study out of the University of Kansas attempted to calculate the amount of time required for relational escalation. To move someone from acquaintance to casual friend, it takes roughly 40 to 60 hours of shared time.
60 hours just to call them casual. That's more than a work week.
It gets heavier. To move from casual friend to friend, you need about 80 to 100 hours. And for the gold standard, from friend to best friend, you need to cross the 200-hour threshold.
200 hours. That is astonishing. That reframes the entire effort.
It changes everything. It's not just about the quality of the coffee date. It's about the sheer, consistent persistence required to stack those hours. Most budding friendships die between the 20 and 40-hour mark.
Because they feel too much like work. They stall before they hit the necessary investment level.
Exactly. We often think, oh, we had a great conversation, we clicked. But if you don't dedicate the follow-up time, that click evaporates. It's a sunk cost fallacy in reverse. We aren't willing to sink the time required.
So the actual revelation isn't about chemistry. It's about sustained, dedicated availability.
It's about showing up again and again. Friendship, particularly adult friendship, is fundamentally a practice of intentional time allocation.
Wow, I always romanticize the moment of meeting, imagining some immediate cosmic recognition.
The cosmic recognition just means you pass the first 10 minutes. You still have 199 hours and 50 minutes of sustained effort left to go.
That level of data makes the resulting close friendship feel even more profound, though. It's not accidental. It's a commitment forged through hundreds of small, shared moments.
It is an achievement. It means both parties willingly negotiated their extremely limited adult schedules to prioritize the other 200 times over.
And that negotiation, that effort, is what builds the deep trust and shared history that sustains the relationship when things get rough.
It's the ultimate proof of value. When someone has invested that many hours in you, you know they are serious.
So, to those looking to meet a new friend, maybe the advice isn't go find someone with similar interests, but rather go find someone who has 200 hours free for you this year.
That's a lot more actionable, if slightly terrifying. The commitment is the bond.
And maybe we should be kinder to ourselves when those budding friendships fade. They probably just died somewhere around the 37-hour mark.
They were simply starved of proximity and intentionality. It happens. It's a resource allocation problem, not a failure of character.
I think that's a beautiful, if very analytical way to frame the magic of meeting someone new. It's magic that requires maintenance.
Indeed, a complex system constantly balancing inputs and outputs.
Well, thank you, Alex, for helping us unpack the intense psychological labor of finding our people. It's a worthy investment.
Always a pleasure, Sophia. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to check my friendship maintenance schedule.
Don't forget to log those 200 hours. We'll catch you all next time on the Social Calculus.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next time on the Routine English Podcast.